Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. It's always great to be here. I watched last night as the LA Chargers, not the LA Rams, but as the LA Chargers, I believe, punched their ticket to the postseason. And I heard all of these congratulations for Justin Herbert. I didn't understand what all the congratulations were for. They won a game in spite of. They won a game in spite of their quarterback. Their quarterback tried to lose the game for them. He did not play well. Y'all got to stop this. It's okay to criticize a quarterback when he's not good. Don't just pick and choose which quarterbacks you decide that you want to criticize when they're not good. When any one of them are not good, criticize them all or criticize none. Have caveats for all or have caveats for none. Stop trying to use the excuse of, well, they did this without. The LA Chargers went through a coaching change only to spend 3 years trying to get right back to this place that they were with the previous coach. Y'all don't think that's funny? The reason I bring up Justin Herbert is not to bash on Justin Herbert. It's really more to talk about Tua, because Justin Herbert is the guy that Tua is normally associated with. He is the guy that people believe Miami missed out on. He is the guy that people believe that Miami should have taken him instead of Tua. And so that's why I bring it up, because what I'm seeing, right? What I'm seeing is people criticizing Tua for his play. And I'm okay with it. I don't think he was great with the Packers the entire game, right? But I want y'all to just realize some things, right? Number one, he put up accounting stats that people have been giving Justin Herbert credit for, even when they don't win. 64% completion percentage, 310 yards, the one touchdown. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The 3 interceptions came in three drives, so it wasn't like he did that the entire game. So if he doesn't throw those 3 interceptions in the end, or if even with throwing those 3 interceptions, if they still win the game, how are you looking at him? How are you judging him? He's a 24-year-old quarterback. He's a 24-year-old quarterback. He's in the first season with a new offensive coordinator. He doesn't get any of the benefit of the doubt that you give someone like Daniel Jones, who's in the first year with a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach. Oh no, because he has weapons, right? Well, let's see what he's done with those weapons this year. 25 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, which means that even with the 3 interceptions that he's thrown this year, that he threw this past week, he only has 8 interceptions. So he had the worst game of his year, right? He had the worst game of his year. 3 interceptions, And everybody said, oh, man, it might be time for Miami to find somebody else. It might be time for Miami to do something different. He has 8 interceptions on the year. What does that tell me? He doesn't turn the ball over often. He doesn't throw a lot of picks. How many interceptions does Justin Herbert have? Oh, 10. That's right. So Justin Herbert has 10 interceptions. He has 21 touchdowns. He's completing 68% of his passes, and he has 4,254 yards. Tua is completing 64.8% of his passes, has 25 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. He has 3,500 yards because he's missed games. Why? Because he's been concussed. And so when something like this happens and he throws 3 interceptions and then all of a sudden he's in the concussion protocol, nobody asked the question of whether or not he got hit in a way during that game that might have led to him all of a sudden short-circuiting, because that's what it looked like he did. It looks like he short-circuited. Now, I'm not making excuses for Tua. Tua brought this on himself, right? He brought this on himself. And this is where players have to get the old school mentality of football out of their minds. See, we were taught to play through pain, to play through injury. We were taught that that was a sign of toughness, that was a sign of, oh, you could follow me because I played through pain, I played through. But what it really does is it shows an inability to really understand one's body and how one's body works. Because at the end of the day, if we were doing our job as players, Tua should have said, hey, yo, man, I'm not good. And when they cleared him, to play back in after week 6, I believe, when he came back, because remember, he missed some time. So Tua's statistics, by the way, better than Justin Herbert's statistics outside of yardage, and he's missed time. When he came back, and he had that run of what was it, like 5 games where they played like talent or teams that were not very good defensively. They played the Steelers, they played the Lions, they played the Bears, they played the Browns, they played the Texans all in a row. By the way, whatever happened to Myles Garrett being a transformative player? Another day. Everybody told me he was going to be the next like great thing, and okay. Y'all gotta stop judging football players off 40 times. But he played those 5 teams and he put up great numbers. 10 touchdowns, no interceptions. He played the 49ers, the team that everybody says is the best defense, bar none, in the country, in the NFL, and he struggled. He threw 2 interceptions. Guess what? The 49ers do that to a lot of people. That's not a reason to feel bad. What is a reason to feel bad is when he's playing well, he's throwing the ball well, and then all of a sudden in the 4th quarter, the last 3 drives, he short circuits, and on 3 drives throws 3 interceptions where it literally looks like he can't see the player. He's throwing a route. The receiver's coming this way, the ball's going that way. It doesn't even look like he knows where the guy is. Nobody asked the question after the game, hey, What was going on with Tua? Now he's in a concussion protocol. And everybody is so quick to say, oh, well, he should do this and he should do that. But you're not quick to ask the questions about the performance. That's because every time Tua has a great game, it's Josh McDaniels. Every time Tua has a great game, people say Josh McDaniels. Oh my God, look at him. He's a genius. Every time Tua has a bad game, it's on Tua. Somebody make it make sense. We're so quick to be able to say, no, he's not the guy. They messed up. They should have Justin Herbert. Look what Justin Herbert would be doing if he was in that. You know what Justin Herbert would be doing? He would probably be concussed. There's a reason why this dude's getting hit. There's a reason. He would probably be concussed. He would probably be hurt. He would probably be messed up. And now he would be sitting here, yet in the concussion protocol again, even though he didn't come out the game. Somebody please make it make sense for me, because I saw Teddy Bridgewater barely get touched and go into the concussion protocol. He barely got touched, got up, ran off the field, ran to the locker room, didn't come back because of the concussion protocol. But this man, Tua, was able to make it through an entire game. And you know the internet's going to internet. The internet is going to internet. So somebody is going to find the play. Matter of fact, I'm going to look. Somebody's going to find it. And someone has already. Someone has already. And you can see it plain as day. Pre-concussion stats. 9 for 12, 229 yards and a touchdown. Post-concussion stats. 7 for 13, 81 yards, 3 interceptions. When he gets hit, he turns and falls, lands in the back of his head, snap, crackle, pop on the ground. We see it. It's clear as day. And shout out to Warren Sharp. If you don't follow him, go and follow him. Shout out to Warren Sharp on his Twitter page. He has the exact clip where it happens. He also has put down the statistics of what he was pre-concussion and post-concussion. But nobody asked the question. They just immediately started blaming Tua. Nobody said, hey, what happened to him? A guy who does not throw interceptions, right? A guy like Tua who does not throw interceptions. The 2 interceptions that he threw versus the 49ers, because the 49ers defense is really good. The 2 interceptions that he threw early in the season versus the Ravens was because the Ravens defense is really good, and he carved them up for 469 yards and 6 touchdowns. And so with that, people are here telling me, trying to convince me that Tua is just not good. Now, here's full disclosure. Tua was not my guy. Tua was not the guy that I said was the guy. Neither was Justin Herbert. Y'all know who the guy I said was the guy is. He's the MVP that's sitting in Philadelphia. But, right? When Tua went to Miami, I said, well, he'll be fine. Some consistency, give him some time. He's got some things to work on, but he'll be fine. He'll not have any issues going forward. He'll be fine. And guess what? He's fine. And then they gave him weapons, and weapons got healthy, and he was fine. Guess what? I know y'all don't want to admit it, right? But if he had these weapons with the previous coaching staff, he'd still be putting up these numbers. he'd still be putting up this numbers. Who was the deep threat last year? Outside of Waddle, who, by the way, isn't your quintessential deep threat. Waddle is the guy you want to get the ball in his hands and then just let him fly by people. But when you put two of those guys on a field, you're telling me that another offensive coordinator couldn't figure it out? That these offensive coordinators who are in the NFL at the highest level doing it are so dumb that they can't figure out how to use really good talent? Miss me with the bull. Miss me with the bull. So now this team this year that plays defense, and people want to blame Tua for everything without blaming the organization for having that man on the field in the first place. I said back when he got the second concussion, I believe, I said he should be done for the year. Hey, shut him down for the year, allow his head to clear, allow his body to do what it will naturally do. And believe it or not, the body does have an ability to naturally heal. Allow him to do things that would strengthen his ability to take hits, work on his neck strength, work on his jaw strength, all of the things that fighters do in order to prevent or help prevent getting concussions. He could do that. Week 5, excuse me. Week 6, he doesn't play. I believe he comes back week 7, maybe week 8. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's playing against bad competition, so nobody knows it. But all of the research that we know on concussion says, once you have a concussion, if you come back too soon, the concussive episodes can stack on top of each other easier. So what happens when he comes back too soon? Boom, he gets another concussion because he needs time. Does he need to retire? I'm not going to go that far. Like, to me, retirement, not retirement, I'm not going to talk like that. Would I be upset if he was just like, nah, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to retire? No, I wouldn't be upset. Would I be upset if he continued to play, like, in the future? No, I wouldn't be upset. Am I going to be upset if I see him next week? Probably. See, we've got to save these players from themselves when they don't understand their own worth, when they don't understand how their body works, when all they can see is I don't want to do this, or I got to prove that. No, man, you have to live. And if for some reason the Dolphins decide that they want to move on because Tua is not to the level that they want their quarterback to be to, so be it. That's the name of the game. But you shouldn't put your life in jeopardy because of that. And I know that every time somebody walks out on that football field, they put their life in jeopardy. But when you already have a situation that could cause you serious issue that has popped up multiple times, it's time to sit your ass down and relax. It's time to relax. But we have to put this blame somewhere else than Tua, right? We can give Tua some of the blame, but we're so quick to just say, oh, he's not good. Oh, well, he's this, he's that. Watching Ryan Clark and I like Ryan Clark too, and that's what making me so upset. Watching him go in with your normal talking heads, talking about how Tua is this and Tua is that, the same way that he's out here like roasting Russell Wilson now, it's sickening to me. Sickening. We can't be about us and then not be about us. It's sickening. Are people not allowed to struggle anymore? So Tua's awful because he threw 3 picks. Tua's awful because he threw 3 picks. But Aaron Rodgers is great. But Aaron Rodgers has been awful His team has found ways to win in spite of him. I'm sorry, Miami. Find a way to win in spite of your quarterback. Right? Find a way to win in spite of him. Just 1 or 2 games. He's going to win you some. Find a way to win in spite of him. Maybe a couple. See what it looks like. Meanwhile, everybody, and I mean everybody, should be holding the Dolphins accountable. Not only did you put this man back on the field after multiple concussions this year, but then he clearly had an episode in the game that somebody should have looked at and said, oh, snap. That's all their job is. They're there all season, all game, looking for episodes where somebody might be concussed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the quarterback is the easiest thing to see. And for some reason, crickets, y'all let this man play the game, then you let him get ridiculed and lambasted after, and then you throw him in the concussion protocol. And now we're left to go, we're left to wonder. We're speechless. It makes perfect sense to me. Before I ever even saw it, I was like, man, maybe there was something wrong with him. Maybe there was something wrong with him. These concussions, we don't have an understanding of their effect. But we do know one thing. When you get your bell rung, you don't see that well. Trust me, I know. I've had concussions. When you get your bell rung, your vision, your ability to be accurate is going to be compromised. We're so quick to blame Tua. We don't put any blame on the head coach. He deserves a lot of blame. We don't put any blame on the front office. They deserve a lot of blame. That's it. And until we do that, I don't want to hear nothing about Tua. Maybe he can't. Maybe, you know what? Let that man heal. And if he comes back on the field this year, my prayers are with him. But I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it. I don't care whether or not the Dolphins win another game if it means putting that man's life at jeopardy. But we also got to ask the question, with the mad genius as the head coach now, this team's record looks eerily similar to the guy that y'all said was inept. You can make it make sense if you want to. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on the YouTube channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Till next time, peace.